All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you right there, just like me right here. So, Steve Perry, my guess is Steve Perry is probably very happy that Journey is back out doing things, announcing tour dates. They've got music that's out there now, the way we used to be. They've got an animated video that's doing quite well. Here is why I think Steve Perry is probably okay with all of this. Maybe he's not thinking about it directly, but his accountants are thinking about it because they're going to report to Steve that Journey is earning revenue from ticket sales, from merchandise sales, and from maybe the download of this new track, which again, most people stream this stuff nowadays, which, is another topic, going off and talking about how I think artists should get something. You know what I mean? They should really be able to get something substantive for all of this streaming that goes on. But Steve Perry made a deal in 1998 after he got off the phone with Jonathan Cain. Allegedly, he then lawyered up and called an attorney who then started the process of the divorce between himself and Journey. And obviously, that divorce resulted in quite a great settlement for Steve Perry, who gets a portion of the band's touring revenue and their merchandise sales. And I do believe the music itself, if they record new music, he gets a portion of that, which is pretty rough because these days, again, music does not sell. At least Journey's music doesn't sell because it's not this electronic based noise, and most of that stuff is being streamed too. So bottom line is Steve Perry made himself a great deal. Now people will ask me, they'll say, Dave, didn't Journey know what they were doing? At that moment, Journey wanted Steve Perry out. They wanted to break away from Steve Perry, and they were willing to do pretty much anything to do that. And that means that, yeah, they were willing to make a really bad deal in the sense that they would lose revenue, that they couldn't call it Journey. See, because Steve Perry said, don't fracture the stone, and Journey did. So Steve Perry said, guess what? You're not going to own all of this stone. I'm always going to be around to remind you that you shouldn't have done what you did. And how is he around? He's around because he's basically skimming some of that money for himself. So was it worth it? I don't know. For Journey fans who wanted the brand to continue, because it didn't look like the Journey brand was going to continue, because Steve Perry didn't want these guys going out on tour without him. They had waited. Maybe they could have waited longer. Who's to say that maybe in 10 years, Steve Perry decides to come out and say, okay, let's put Journey back on the road again. But my guess is that wouldn't have happened. And there's some inside information that we don't know about, because the band wouldn't have done this if they didn't think that Perry was going to gum up the works for a very long time. And they figured some revenue is better than no revenue. This is another reason why Neil Schon tried to do Journey Through Time, which kind of sort of keeps that Journey name, which is very important, but is something completely new. And obviously, the powers that be didn't like that happening. So Journey going on the road means more revenue for Steve Perry. Allegedly, that revenue stream goes down over time. It's been 23 years now since that deal was negotiated, and I imagine that it's probably at its lowest point, but will never go away. So if Journey has a really successful tour, which I think they will, because fans are hungry for music and they are interested in this new lineup, if they do well, Steve Perry is going to do well also. And that is why Steve Perry is probably pretty happy that Journey is back up and running again. So thanks again for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can smack that bell if you want notifications. Check out my buddy Kent Hilly's new album. It's called The Rumble. It is amazing, courtesy of Frontiers Music. If you like Foreigner, Survivor, Giant, Journey, Kent Hilly, one of the finest vocalists in the melodic rock world right now. Check it out. And he's not paying me to say that, but you can pay him. Make sure you purchase the album, and certainly that'll help him out.